Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Jeff and Joe's Puerto Rican Kitchen, where we show you how to make easy, authentic Puerto Rican recipes. It's day 6 of our quarantine series, and if you guys have been staying inside, I know it's getting tough. You want to get out there, you want to go see the people, but let's persevere. Let's hold on. We don't want to keep getting people infected, and we don't want to get infected ourselves. So let's keep staying inside and doing our part. And on that note, we got a great way to keep you guys busy. Today we're going to be showing you an awesome recipe called Yuca al Ajillo, or roughly translated, Garlicky Yuca. And you know me, I love my garlic, so this is going to be awesome. Let's get cooking.
Puerto Rican. Yo te la traigo de Coupé, de Vega Baja y de Santurce, de toda parte de Puerto Rico.
Here are the ingredients we're going to need for today's recipe. First, we got our yuca. You've seen this on our channel before and we've talked about it. It's a commonly used root in Puerto Rico. It stores really well, so it's great for times like this. As long as you keep it dry, you can keep it for quite a long time. So we're gonna boil that, and then we're gonna top it with some olive oil, some yellow onions, some garlic, some bay leaves, and some salt. These are just 2 yellow onions that I've sliced up. This is about 10 cloves of garlic. Like I said, this is al ajillo, so it's gonna be lots of garlic. So it's gonna be great, you know it. Let's get cooking.
To start, we're gonna need to peel our yuca. Yuca has an extremely thick skin, so it can be a little tricky to peel. First, I'm going to show you how yuca is traditionally peeled. Cut off both ends of the yuca, and then use a small knife to cut a slit in the skin along one side of the yuca. Then, using the edge of the knife, begin peeling back the skin along the line you cut. As you begin to pull back the skin, you'll see that underneath the rough outside bark, there's a smooth second layer that if you're able to get under it, you can pull it back easily. Generally, the fresher the root, the easier it is to find this line, and if you're lucky, the skin can come off quite easily. In any event, keep pulling off the skin until your yuca is completely clean. If you need to, use your knife to cut away any particularly difficult sections. The second way to peel yuca, and my preferred method, is by using a sturdy vegetable peeler like the one I have here. With this method, you don't need to worry about finding the second skin. You just peel everything off until you get down to the bright white meat. I find this method faster, and it works regardless of the age of your yuca. Once you have your yuca peeled, let's go ahead and cut it into pieces to boil it. I'm cutting the yuca into pieces that are about 1.5 inches thick. As you are cutting your yuca, you might find some discolored parts or tough veins running through the root. Take advantage of this opportunity to cut out those parts. It's easier to do now than waiting until after the root is cooked and soft. As you are cutting your yuca, just add them to the pot you are going to use to boil them. Once done cutting, add water to your pot to cover your yuca. Then add your salt. You want to add salt based on how much water you added. Here, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of salt to 8 cups of water. Now go ahead and put your pot on the stove and begin boiling it on medium-high. While your yuca is boiling, let's go ahead and get your sauce ready to go on top. Heat up a wide pan and add your olive oil. Add your onions and saute them on medium heat until they are soft and just starting to get translucent. Be careful not to overcook your onions here. We want them to retain their shape, not to become French onion soup. Once your onions are soft, add your garlic and your bay leaves and stir to combine. After about 1 minute, remove your pot from the stove and allow the residual heat to finish cooking the garlic. Now back to our yuca. As it's boiling, check it from time to time with a fork. Once you can easily insert a fork into the yuca pieces, they are ready. Once ready, take your yuca off of the stove and strain off the water. Then, rinse it with cold water to stop the cooking. After you've rinsed your yuca, add it back to the same pot you boiled it in, and then top it with your onions and garlic. At this point, give your yuca a quick taste and adjust the salt as necessary. If you properly salted the water you boiled your yuca in, you shouldn't need to add too much salt at this stage. Enjoy!
So there you have it, Yuca al Ajillo. You can give it a little taste here. Very garlicky. Just like I like it. I think I usually serve this with a little olive oil. Some people like a little bit more on top, and depending on if you get pieces from the bottom, you might want to add a little much, but add a little bit. A really important thing I think with this dish is to make sure you salt the water appropriately. You'll notice that we kind of gave you the amounts that we used, and the reason being is that if you don't get the salt kind of boiled into the yuca, it's really hard to get it more salty afterwards. And you'll notice that I added just very little bit at the end because it was sufficiently salted from the beginning. So keep that in mind. This is a great side dish. You can serve it. One second. You can serve it with just about anything. Goes well with rice and beans. It goes well with like meats. You name it. I like to serve it warm, but you can also serve it cold. Just has a different texture, so totally up to you. And there you go. This has been day 6 of the quarantine. We're already through almost a whole week of it. You guys can make it. Be well, stay safe. We'll see you guys tomorrow.